A city destroyed twice, besieged 23 times, attacked 52 times, captured and recaptured 44 times, and yet it still stands. This is not just a place on a map. This is where heaven touches earth. Welcome back. Today we are going somewhere truly extraordinary, a land that has shaped the soul of over 3 billion people, a place where faith, history, and humanity have been woven together for thousands of years. This is the story of Israel and Palestine, two peoples, two lands, bound by faith and scarred by history. Stay with us, because this journey will change the way you see the world. Jerusalem tucked between the sun-scorched rocks of the Middle East. Jerusalem rises not as a city, but as a mystery. Small enough to walk across in a few hours, yet vast in the weight of stories etched into every stone. This is where three of the world's greatest faiths trace their sacred steps back to this very ground. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all three rooted here. The old city is divided into 4 quarters, yet they flow together like blood vessels through a single sacred heart. Jewish quarter for the Jewish people. Jerusalem is where King Solomon built the first temple. It was believed to be the earthly dwelling of God among humankind. The Babylonians destroyed it in 586 BCE. All that remains today is a portion of the western wall known as the Wailing Wall. Here, prayers are whispered, tears are shed, and hopes are tucked between the ancient stones like letters to the heavens. Christian quarter. For Christians, Jerusalem is alive with the footsteps of the faithful. This is where Jesus Christ spent his final moments on earth. He carried his cross through the narrow streets of the Via Dolorosa, the Way of Sorrows. He was crucified at Golgotha, and 3 days later, according to Christian belief, he rose from the dead. That triumph of life over death is the very foundation of the Christian faith. Millions of pilgrims travel here every year. They reach out and touch these ancient walls as if brushing against something beyond logic, beyond time. Muslim quarter. The Muslim quarter is the largest of the 4. It radiates vibrant life with bustling bazaars, ancient mosques, and the call to prayer echoing from tall minarets. For Muslims, Jerusalem is the starting point of one of the most miraculous journeys in the Quran, the Isra and Miraj. According to tradition, it was from a sacred rock on the Temple Mount that the Prophet Muhammad was carried by an angel into the heavens to meet with God. To honor that moment, Muslims built the Dome of the Rock. Its golden dome is visible from nearly every corner of the old city, standing like a beacon of eternal faith. Armenian quarter. And then there is the Armenian quarter. Small, quiet, yet remarkably enduring, tucked behind old stone walls and ancient monasteries. The Armenian community does not seek attention or acclaim, yet they faithfully preserve their language, rituals, and ancestral faith. A quiet flame that has continued to burn through the winds of time. Every stone here knows the stories of those who never shouted, but steadfastly lived by their own truth. Mount of Olives. Not far from the heart of the old city lies the Mount of Olives, a sacred site revered by all 3 major religions. For Jews, it is the final resting place of more than 150,000 people, all buried facing Jerusalem, a silent testament to their unwavering belief in resurrection. For Christians, it is where Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane before his arrest, and where the Chapel of the Ascension marks the moment he departed from this world. For Muslims, it is believed to be the place of the Last Judgment, where a bridge will appear over the chasm below, allowing the righteous to cross into paradise. Bethlehem. Just south of Jerusalem lies Bethlehem, a small city that holds an immense story. According to Christian tradition, this is the birthplace of Jesus Christ, an event that forever changed the course of human history. At the heart of modern Bethlehem stands the Church of the Nativity, built in the 4th century by order of Emperor Constantine. Beneath its main altar lies a 14-pointed silver star, marking the exact spot where, according to tradition, Christ was born. Every year, hundreds of thousands of pilgrims gather here to pray, sing, and remember the very first Christmas night. The wall at Bethlehem is not only a city of sacred light, it is also a city struggling with reality. A towering concrete wall more than 8 meters high cuts through the city, separating land, people, and hope. And yet, on those cold gray slabs of concrete, another voice emerges, the voice of art, of resistance, of humanity. World-renowned British street artist Banksy transformed these walls into a giant canvas. Works like Flower Thrower and Dove with Bulletproof Vest made the world stop and listen. More than just art, they are a reminder that even in times of war, people can still dream of freedom. Ark of the Covenant. Among the ancient legends of this land, few are as sacred or as mysterious as the Ark of the Covenant. According to the Hebrew Bible, it was a gold-covered chest made of acacia wood. It held the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the 10 commandments given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai. It also contained a jar of manna, the heavenly food, and Aaron's rod. Atop the ark were 2 golden cherubim facing each other, forming what was called the mercy seat, the place where the divine presence of God was believed to dwell. To the ancient Israelites, the ark was not just a holy object, it was the physical manifestation of God's presence on earth. It was housed in the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber of Solomon's temple. Only the high priest was permitted to enter, and only once a year. Beyond its spiritual significance, the ark was also regarded as a divine weapon. When carried into battle, the Israelite army believed they were under God's protection, and then it vanished. When the Babylonians destroyed the first temple in 586 BCE, the ark disappeared from all recorded history. No one knows if it was hidden, destroyed, or taken elsewhere. To this day, it remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in both religion and archaeology. Judean desert. If Jerusalem speaks in prayer, then the Judean desert speaks in silence. Carved into the cliffs of the rugged wilderness, Mar Saba Monastery rises like a fairy tale fortress carved into stone. Founded in the 5th century by the monk Sabas, it has upheld a life of strict asceticism and seclusion for more than 15 centuries. Women are not permitted to enter, they can only gaze upon it from a nearby hilltop. In today's noisy world, Mar Saba feels like a silent dream, a place where the soul seeks communion with the divine amid solitude. Jericho. Not far from there lies Jericho, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world, with over 10,000 years of recorded settlement, mentioned in the Bible for the dramatic tale of its walls falling to the sound of trumpets. Jericho is also the cradle of ancient agriculture and urban civilization. Thanks to natural springs, it flourished as an oasis in the desert, sustaining life across millennia. In a land of harsh conditions, Jericho stands as a living testament to the resilience and ingenuity of early human civilization. Desert wildlife. Do not be too quick to think of the desert as a barren land of sand and death, because even under the scorching sun, nature here continues to write extraordinary stories of survival. On the steep cliffs, the Nubian ibex climbs effortlessly, as if walking on flat ground. In the silence of the desert night, the barn owl spreads its wings and strikes its prey with ghostly precision. The Egyptian vulture picks up stones to crack open ostrich eggs, one of the few animals on Earth known to use tools. The caracal can leap more than 3 meters into the air to snatch birds in mid-flight. Above them all, the peregrine falcon, the fastest animal on Earth, dives at over 300 kilometers per hour, and the chameleon, perched patiently on a twig, shoots out a tongue longer than its own body to catch insects in a blink. Not even in the desert. The Dead Sea. Welcome to the lowest point on Earth, the Dead Sea, sitting 430 meters below sea level. Despite its name, it is not actually a sea, but a hypersaline lake nestled between Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. With a salt concentration more than 10 times that of regular seawater, no living organism can survive here. Hence the name, the Dead Sea. Yet this place is anything but lifeless. Its rich mineral content creates a fascinating phenomenon. The human body effortlessly floats on the surface. As early as the time of Cleopatra, its black mud and mineral salts were prized for beauty and healing. The Dead Sea is the oldest natural spa on Earth. However, the Dead Sea is disappearing. Since the 1960s, water levels have dropped by more than a meter every single year. Thousands of sinkholes have appeared, swallowing roads, buildings, and tourist facilities along the shoreline. Dead Sea Scrolls. Near Qumran, on the northwestern edge of the Dead Sea, a young shepherd made a world-changing discovery in 1947. Ancient scrolls hidden inside clay jars. These are the Dead Sea Scrolls. Over 900 manuscripts, some dating back more than 2,000 years. They include familiar texts like Genesis and Isaiah. as well as previously unknown writings on laws, rituals, and apocalyptic visions. Far more than an archaeological treasure, the scrolls offer a rare window into the spiritual world of the Second Temple period, the very era in which Jesus lived. Masada, perched atop a remote plateau on the edge of the Judean desert, Masada is more than just an ancient fortress. It is a powerful symbol of Jewish resistance and the unyielding desire for freedom. Originally built by King Herod the Great as a luxurious desert refuge, but what etched Masada into the heart of the Jewish people was the event that unfolded there in 73 CE. After the fall of Jerusalem, nearly 1,000 Jewish rebels retreated here as their last refuge. Surrounded and facing inevitable defeat by Roman forces, they made an unimaginable decision: death over slavery. According to the historian Flavius Josephus, their final act was a declaration that freedom was worth more than life itself. Today, Masada is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Every stone, every stairway still seems to echo with the defiance of a people who, even in despair, held on to dignity. A timeless reminder that even when all seems lost, the human spirit can still stand tall. Mikdash Ramon, in the heart of the Negev desert, a breathtaking spectacle emerges so surreal it feels like stepping into another world. This is Mikdash Ramon, a colossal crescent-shaped erosion crater stretching over 40 kilometers long and 10 kilometers wide, with towering cliffs and surfaces painted in deep reds, burnt oranges, golden yellows, and charcoal blacks. Mikdash Ramon is not a volcanic crater, nor the result of a meteorite impact. It is a rare geological formation found only in the Negev and a few other places around the world. Over millions of years, erosion by wind, water, and tectonic activity wore away the center of a mountain range, leaving behind this vast sunken valley. For geologists, it is a natural laboratory. For visitors, it is a deeply spiritual experience. In its overwhelming vastness, one feels humbled, dwarfed by nature's raw, silent grandeur. By night, it becomes one of the best stargazing sites in the Middle East. No city lights, only the Milky Way stretched in full silence above a crater millions of years old. Israel and Palestine, of golden domes and grey walls, of silence and song, of wounds that run deep and hope that refuses to die. Perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all, that after thousands of years of conflict, after every empire that rose and fell, after every stone torn down and rebuilt, this land still calls to billions of people, still makes them weep, still makes them believe. Some places are just geography, and then there is Jerusalem. If this journey moved you, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment below and tell us which moment touched you the most. We read every single one. See you on the next adventure.